What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. We're going to be bringing the focus back to Project Beautiful. I stated to you guys that I had a lot of stuff on the rear end of the car to keep the camera rolling, so we're going to continue with working on the back end of Project Beautiful here. Take a look. It's going to be one of the last times you see the rear end of the car looking this way. She's going to be getting the whole entire rear end from my old coupe, the 92 coupe, which means it's going to be getting a rear disc brake conversion, the rear sway bar. She's going to be getting my coupe deck lid with all the goodies that I had done to the deck lid on that one. She's going to get my rear bumper and the 92-93 coupe tail lights as well. So, best place for us to start is we're going to get this ass end of this car up off the ground, put her on jack stands, get the wheels blocked up, because we're going to strip everything down off this rear end to get it ready to start the whole transformation. So it's up on jack stands, got the rear wheels pulled off the car, getting ready to start working on getting this rear bumper pulled off the back end. I just wanted to show you guys something here that maybe you guys might have the answer to, because I have no idea. The car is a 1990, it's an LX model. I find absolutely nothing special whatsoever about this car. For some strange reason, it has all the gold emblems on the trunk. It had the one here in the center, and it even had the gold emblem grille. So comment below if any of you guys might know what's so special about this 1990 LX as to why it came with gold emblems. Anyways, work on getting this bumper off. Just gonna take the few screws out here off the brackets on both sides back here. Down below we have a 12mm nut to undo on both sides. And inside the trunk, we have another 12mm nut on both sides. And then the whole entire rear bumper will slide right off. And then after that, we'll start working on stripping everything down underneath the car and get the suspension ready for the rear disc swap. Rear end has bumped into something before. I have to repair this lower bracket that's busted off of its tack welds and slightly twisted. This tank has ever been dropped out of this car. Every hose on this tank fought me getting it off. And I've had the car for 5 years or so, so this tank has been sitting with whatever's in it for the last at least 7 or 8 years. I'm kind of afraid to pull the fuel pump out and take a look and see what it looks like inside here, but it smells awful coming out the all the vent tubes here.
These are new cologne, right?
Oh, that smells so horrible.
Holy shit.
Oh yeah, that's not a good sign there. Holy cow, look at that shit. Oh man. Oh, I'm afraid to look down in the tank. Oh, this tank is pretty shot. Yeah. Oh, thank God that we don't throw things away. Oh, look at my light. It's a little bit dirty in there, but it's not rusted. It's just from sitting outside. We got a little bit of tree crap in there. Let's clean out this fuel tank, but we got a good fuel tank here, and somewhere in the other side of the shop, I have another fuel pump assembly that I can throw our new Walbro pump on. If that's no good, that's gonna have to go. It's gonna go bye-bye to the trash pile it goes. Get all this picked up out of the way for the moment so we can then move on to stripping down the suspension, all the drum brakes and the e-brake cables. Before I start zapping a bunch of bolts out to get rid of all the drum brake assembly off this car, if you wanted to do just a rear disc assembly without a sway bar, you could simply change out just the trailing arm with the drum brake assembly for the EX model's trailing arm with all of the disc brake assembly, including, you know, the rubber hose and the e-brake cables that go to it. But if you want to have the sway bar from the EX model to go along with your rear disc brake conversion, you're going to need to change out the rear subframe for the lower suspension, because you don't have a spot on the non-EX models to put all the brackets to be able to run the sway bar that's on the EX rear subframe that we have sitting here. Also have one of my trailing arms from the other side sitting here as well. So I'm going to be going underneath and removing all the 12 millimeters that hold the e-brake cable up to the chassis of the car. We'll go inside the car, we'll take the e-brake and we'll pop the e-brake loose, and we'll remove the bracket that holds the e-brake cables to our e-brake handle, so we can get the e-brake cables out through the floorboard and underneath the car. Then we'll get the front bolts out from the trailing arm. We will remove the brake hose. I will disconnect the lower bolt from our shock assembly. Then we will remove all the bolts to the subframe to finally ditch all of this off of this car. All the drum brake crap has finally been removed from the car. I still need to remove the struts. But aside from that, we have the whole undercarriage of the rear end of Project Beautiful stripped down. The trailing arms I've got separated from the subframe and the lower control arms. I'll keep the lower control arms as some spares. I also kept the upper control arms as some spares as well. And now I can just work on getting this cleaned up, throw all this stuff into a scrap pile, get the rear struts taken off, throw those in the scrap pile, and then tomorrow during the daytime I'll get the pressure washer hooked up and we can start getting things cleaned up underneath the car. That way we can work on getting a new fuel tank, fuel pump put in, and start working on putting the rear disc brake assembly on to the project. And that is going to do it for today. I will see you guys again tomorrow when we're ready to get this all cleaned up and start doing the rear disc swap and get a new fuel tank put up into the car. Thank you guys for watching. If you're new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button below. Like, share, comment. Until next time, peace out.